Hi, I'm Peter King of Sports Illustrated. Along with my colleague Michael Silver, it's my pleasure to introduce the 1995 Indianapolis Colts video yearbook.
In this Sports Illustrated special presentation, we're going to give you an exclusive look at Indianapolis Colts football, past, present, and future.
And we're going to start with a review of the 1994 Colts season, a highlight package we call Dome Improvement. And Mike, you might slap me silly come December 1st for saying this, but of all the mediocre teams in football, all the middle-of-the-road teams, I think the Indianapolis Colts in 1995 have a good shot to not only be competitive, but a good shot to be a formidable playoff team. I'll tell you why. 3 reasons. They got the 10th-rated quarterback in the league last year, Craig Erickson, in a trade with Tampa. And this guy, mentally and physically, is all there, unlike a succession of Colts quarterbacks of the past. Number 2, got great defensive drafts. The best defensive drafts in the 90s in this league have been done by the Indianapolis Colts. They just got to find some way to stay healthy. Number 3, Marshall Faulk. You take it away on Faulk.
I could go on forever about this guy. Before Marshall Faulk showed up, they were the 28th dead last team in the league in rushing. Faulk shows up, they're immediately a force on the ground. No question this guy was the Rookie of the Year. What an impact. They were 4th in the league of rushing last year. Thanks to Faulk, he had 1,282 yards, 11 touchdowns. Now they got to work on the passing game. They were 28th in the league last year. I think Craig Erickson will help that immeasurably.
One other thing about the Colts, Mike. They have been ripped over the years, justifiably so, for some bad drafts and some bad trades. They finally hit on a lower round draft pick, Ray Buchanan. 8 interceptions last year, 3rd in the NFL. This guy's a real keeper. These are just some of the things we're about to see. For in addition to 1994 highlights, we'll also take a special trip down memory lane in our Colts Classic segment.
That segment will feature a retrospective on the Hall of Fame career of running back Lenny Moore.
So without further ado, Sports Illustrated proudly presents the 1995 Indianapolis Colts video yearbook.
After a disappointing 1993 campaign, the Indianapolis Colts dedicated themselves to making significant improvement. That dedication paid off in resounding fashion.
Everybody get on somebody. Everybody get on somebody. 1, 2, 3, go!
Going to the end zone. Dawkins with a catch for the touchdown. Sean Dawkins with a leaping two-handed grab for the score.
Right now, we're turning it on. We got to turn it up a notch. Time to turn it up a notch. Hey, MG. Time to turn it up a notch, man. They're going to start trying to come at us.
The Colts turned it up several notches and engineered an impressive turnaround from their 4-12 record of a season ago. By maintaining their focus, a dedicated and determined Colts squad overcame early disappointments to win 5 of their last 8 games. They finished at the 500 level that few expected them to reach. These Colts were especially tough on their home turf, where they carved a 5-3 record. But regardless of where they played, they demonstrated a newfound big play capacity that enabled them to score from anywhere on the field.
Throws to the near side, it's picked up, it's intercepted by Buchanan, and he's going to score! He may go all the way, he's across the midfield stripe, he's down to 30, the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Ron Humphries goes 95 yards! Rushing off, throws down the right side, and it is caught for the touchdown! A juggling catch to the right.
Throughout 1994, the Colts were on a quest for improvement and respectability. By nearly every measure, their quest was a successful one. Robert Irsay's long-held commitment to building a competitive and contending franchise was embodied in 1994 by a team that received imaginative leadership from the front office and from Ted Marchibroda, who became the second winningest head coach in Colts history. Marchibroda's winning edge was especially sharp in the very first game of the year, when the Colts and their fans were loud and proud.
Getting heated up here at the RCA Dome. Back to throw. Carlson looks, pumps. He's going to be stripped of the football. Loose. It's picked up by the Colts. They might score. It's Tony Bennett. He lumbers to the 40. He's to the 30. He's to the 10. He goes in.
Newcomer Tony Bennett was part of an aggressive defense that produced 4 sacks and 3 takeaways as the Colts reeled off 42 unanswered points. New Colts on offense also made an impact, as Jim Harbaugh and Floyd Turner connected for a pair of scores.
And to give play action fake, the throw, touchdown, Turner in the left corner.
But it was a rookie who emerged as the dominant force in this contest. Number 1 draft choice, Marshall Faulk, immediately established himself as an offensive catalyst by rushing for 143 yards. Faulk scored 3 touchdowns to pace the 45-21 victory.
First down, Colts to the 11-yard line to get a ball, break through a crease to 10, 5, down to the goal line, touchdown, Marshall Faulk, his 3rd touchdown.
Faulk's impressive debut was the prelude to one of the most sensational rookie campaigns in recent NFL history. In Week 2 at Tampa, Faulk produced his 2nd straight 100 yards plus rushing performance. While the Colts lost, it was plain to see that the Marshall Plan was going to provide a blueprint for success throughout the entire season. Here was a runner who combined creativity and instinct to become the first rookie in team history to rush for 1,000 yards. Faulk finished the year with 1,282 rushing yards, the 3rd highest total in the AFC. A potent package of strength, speed, and silky smooth moves. Faulk flowed past defenders and also floored would-be tacklers. A consensus choice for Rookie of the Year, Faulk was also the only rookie named to the Pro Bowl, where he would shatter O.J. Simpson's single-game rushing record and earn MVP honors. The versatile Faulk also tied Floyd Turner for the team lead in receptions with 52. And when called on to block, he drew on his tenacity and toughness to spring backfield mates for big gains. There was also tough, tenacious run blocking up front from a solid offensive line consisting of Kirk Loudermilk, Jason Matthews, Eric Mollum, Will Wolford, Zephyrus Moss, number 69 Randy Dixon, and Joe Stasiak, number 79. The line blasted open huge holes for Marshall Faulk and runners such as rookie Lamont Warren, number 21. Number 25 Ron Humphrey also contributed to a rushing attack that dramatically improved from dead last in the NFL to 4th best in the league. Roosevelt Potts, number 42, was a rushing and receiving threat and a key weapon in the backfield arsenal. This unselfish player's powerful blocking allowed multifaceted Marshall Faulk to compile 1,804 total yards from scrimmage, the 2nd best mark in team history. Faulk rushed for 11 scores and added an 85-yard receiving touchdown.
Harbaugh drops straight back to throw, sets up deep. Now he's coming for it long. He's got Faulk open at the 50. It's a foot race with Ken Harvey, and Faulk's going to win. He's to the 15, a 10, a 5, in zone. 85 yards. Marshall Faulk
1994, Marshall Faulk made the Colts' offense more productive and more exciting. He also made it evident that Indianapolis boasted a superstar in the making. A Week 5 matchup against Seattle proved to be one of the season's most satisfying tales.
Well, we're going to do it today. We need hardball. Even if I have to go out there, we're going to win today.
Absolutely.
It's a win today, baby. It's a win today. Oh, we're going to win. That's what they want here. We're going to win.
We're going to win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
The defense came up big as the Colts sought to snap a 3-game losing streak. A first-period interception by veteran Eugene Daniel, number 38, set up a touchdown run by Marshall Faulk that gave the Colts a lead they would never relinquish.
And Flacker reverses fake. Faulk takes the pitch out, goes wide left, and goes into the end zone for the touchdown.
Keep it coming. Good job. Good blocking, man. Keep it on. Good job. Keep going. Good job, Omar. Way to go.
Steve Entman's initial appearance of the season provided a source of inspiration.
So it should have been held off by our rule.
And 1993's #1 draft choice, Sean Dawkins, ignited the offense with 5 receptions, including a 49-yarder. Dawkins' 51 catches during the year indicates that he's well on his way to becoming one of the league's premier receivers. Dawkins' soft hands and Faulk's hard running helped create the 17-15 final.
Quick pitch to Marshall. He tries to come to the near side, and he turns the corner and goes in. Oh my, they almost had him stopped. And Potts through the block, and Faulk turned the corner and sprinted into the end zone.
All over now.
They held a victory when their backs were to the wall. Damn, everything was against us. We came through and played a hell of a physical ballgame. So we just keep on going, man. Keep the kind of a practice we had this week, kind of attention and focus we had this week. We're on our way, man.
2 weeks later, the Colts figured to have an uphill struggle in Buffalo. But Jim Harbaugh's 81.8 completion percentage and 2 scoring passes created a level playing field. Harbaugh threw touchdowns to Kerry Cash and Floyd Turner. Then Turner caught another 6-pointer. This one from Don Makowski.
Makowski sets up the throw. He's going right corner of the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown. It's Floyd Turner with a second.
These aerial heroics were complemented by a 2-fisted defense that shoved Buffalo ball carriers backwards and sideways. The Bills managed just 79 rushing yards, and Jim Kelly was sacked 4 times during a 27-17 triumph that afforded the Colts their first win in a veteran game at Rich Stadium since 1980. The victory provided persuasive proof that the front 7 was making bold strides in 1994. This unit included linebackers Quentin Coriat, number 55, Stephen Grant and Tony Bennett, number 56, defensive tackles Tony McCoy and Tony Siragusa, number 98, rookie linebacker Trev Alberts, number 51, and 7th-year pro-at linebacker Jeff Herrod, number 54, the team's top tackler. These linebackers and down linemen swarmed to the ball carrier with renewed confidence, and the team concept stressed by defensive coordinator Vince Tobin still allowed for individual brilliance in stopping the run, as evidenced by the play of Stephen Grant, number 59, and Tony Siragusa, number 98. The Goose also contributed to a pass rush that increased its 1993 sack total. Number 56, Tony Bennett, was the club leader in sacks. In Week 1, Bennett had scored on a fumble recovery. Then, in Week 3 against Pittsburgh, he forced a fumble that resulted in a touchdown by Quentin Coryatt.
Back to throw, Donald. Looks, hit, fumbles the ball, picked up by the Colts, coming his way at the 30, the 40, the 50, and it's going to score. It's going to be Quentin Coryatt. Quentin Coryatt rumbles all the way for the score.
With a franchise record-tying 5 defensive touchdowns, Colt defenders proved to be capable of making their own breaks and breaking the will of an opponent.
That's it.
The arrival of the second half of the season demonstrated that in Indianapolis, as in the rest of the NFL, it takes a variety of game faces to make a season. On the weekend before Halloween, it was okay to believe in ghosts, but more important, to believe in magic. Against the Jets in Week 9, Don Majkowski made his first start at quarterback. He threw for 1 touchdown and ran for another as the Colts jumped out to a 14-0 lead.
Play action fake. Majkowski going in the right corner of the end zone, and Turner with a diving catch for the touchdown. Rolling to the left, Majkowski. He can walk it in. He scored.
Magic shared center stage with the Colts' high-powered rushing attack. Number 25, Ron Humphrey, totaled 41 yards on just 2 carries. Marshall Faulk's 110 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns included a 29-yard game clincher on a 4th and 1 with 8:29 left in the contest.
On the left side, and to give to Faulk, they want to run the left side, cuts back, finds a crease, sidesteps the man at the 25, the 20, 15, 10, he cuts back and goes in! Touchdown, Marshall Faulk on a beautiful zigzag run!
There was also fine effort from the secondary, as an interception by number 49, David Tate, set up a touchdown. And with 1:35 remaining to play, and the Jets mounting a possible game-tying march, Eugene Daniels' drive-stopping tackle on the 4th and 1 preserved the 28-25 victory. Indianapolis had ushered in the season's second half on a high note. Then, after a heartbreaking 1-point defeat in Miami, the Colts took a week off before traveling to Cincinnati's Riverfront Stadium, where they rekindled the winning spark. Against the Bengals, Ron Stark showed why he is the top punter in franchise history by launching a 60-yarder that marked his season best. There was also determined defense, as Stephen Grant recovered a fumble that set up a Marshall Faulk touchdown, and Grant's defensive mates delivered key hits all afternoon. With just under 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, Don Majkowski combined with Sean Dawkins to erase a 13-10 deficit.
Quick drop, he looks, a quick pass in, and it's in for the touchdown! Sean Dawkins made the catch down on one knee on a quick slant at the 1-yard line.
Then, with 59 seconds showing on the clock, the Bengals drove to the Colts' 37-yard line. But cornerback Ray Buchanan preserved the 17-13 win with a clutch interception. Such heroics were the norm for the second-year defensive back. 1994 saw the high-spirited Buchanan emerge as the team's most dominating defender, a player capable of shutting down enemy aerial attacks with sure hands and sure tackling. Buchanan became the standout performer of a steady secondary that also featured Jason Belser, Ashley Ambrose, Eugene Daniel, David Tate, Damon Watts, and Leonard Humphreys. Over the season's last 7 games, Buchanan picked off 7 passes to finish 1994 with 8 interceptions, the NFL's second highest total. Buchanan set a new team single-season record by returning 3 of his 8 picks for touchdowns, including a 90-yarder against New England.
Quick release over the middle, it's picked up! It's Buchanan, he's to the 20, he may score! He comes down the near side!
Colts were a better team over the second half of the season, and one of the most telling symbols of this upswing was the play of Ray Buchanan. At Seattle in Week 14, the Colts bounced back from a 10-0 deficit behind their pair of big playmakers, Ray Buchanan and Marshall Faulk.
And the give to Marshall Faulk. Looks right, cuts up the middle to the 40. He to the 30, jerks away. He may score. Cuts back at the 15, the 10, the 5, end zone. He drops back to pass on first down, wings it downfield. And it's picked off by Ray Buchanan. That's his 4th straight interception. And he is inside the 20 to the 15. He's come to the near side looking for a block to the 10 to the 5. He goes in! Ray Buchanan!
Indianapolis extended a 14-10 lead on the strength of 5 sacks and as many takeaways, including number 33 Ashley Ambrose's 42-yard interception return. The 31-19 win also featured the solid signal calling of Don Makowski, who ran for 1 score and threw for another.
Back to throw is Makowski into the end zone. Great catch for the touchdown by Dawkins. Oh, Sean Dawkins with a sensational, stretching, diving catch.
2 weeks after this indoor victory, the Colts were back in the dome they call home, where they confidently confronted a Miami Dolphins team looking to sew up an AFC Eastern Division title.
How you feeling, baby? Feeling good. Huh? Feeling great. Let's go, man. We got to control that middle, me and you. You got it. You got it.
This matchup would produce one of the Colts' finest efforts of the season.
That's all. On the 9 up, there's nobody in the middle? There's nobody in the middle. Nobody in the middle.
This was a hard-fought, low-scoring affair, in which the game's only points were scored by the special teams.
There's the kick by John Kidd. And it's taken at the 25 by Noel Brewer, across the 30, 35, 40, breaks the tackle, he's at the 50, he sends sail down the sideline, he's at the 25, the 10, he goes in! A punt return for the touchdown by Noel Brewer, 75 yards!
Dean Biasucci's 4th quarter field goal gave Indianapolis a 4-point lead. Then, as the pressure-packed final period headed towards its climax, the Colts demonstrated why their defense inside the red zone ranked as the league's best for 1994. Miami was stopped on 6 consecutive plays inside the Colts' 5-yard line, including a 4th and goal that saw Ashley Ambrose perfectly position himself to foil a potential go-ahead pass.
Single setback, 4th and goal from the 2. Quick drop by Marino. Incomplete in the right corner. No flag. The Colts have held. The Colts have held.
Go home, Dolphins. We got to win the AFC somewhere else. Not in our house, not today.
Good luck in the playoffs.
We want a squeaker down there.
Okay.
Tell those defense guys they did a hell of a job.
Thank you, man. Good luck in the playoffs.
The 10-6 victory put the Colts 1 game under 500, with 1 game left on the schedule.
One more, baby, one more!
Yeah!
Once again, the RCA Dome would provide a loud and proud backdrop for an impressive win, as the defense set the tone against defending AFC champion Buffalo. Rookie Trev Alberts, number 51, showed why he's likely to be an outside pass rushing force for seasons to come. And Tony Bennett also recorded a sack. On the way to keeping an opponent out of the end zone for the 2nd straight week, the Colts produced a pair of interceptions, one of them by Jason Belzer, number 29. Buffalo was limited to a mere 57 rushing yards, while Marshall Faulk reeled off the kind of big gains that defined his sensational rookie season. Jim Harbaugh's touchdown pass to Floyd Turner put the Colts ahead to stay in the 10-9 victory.
Harbaugh to drop, fires to the left corner of the end zone. Touchdown! Great catch over the shoulder by Floyd Turner.
By emerging victorious in 2 tough, tight games, the Colts finished with an 8-8 record. And if not for a pair of narrow defeats, Indianapolis would have made the playoffs. Clearly, the 1994 Colts accomplished their quest for improvement in the Dome and beyond. And their dedication to this quest suggests that even more accomplishments lie ahead.
Lenny Moore had a unique capacity for seeing things that other runners were unable to see. He had the equivalent of what the military calls night vision, and he moved with such effortless grace and nonchalance that even his own teammates were in awe of his talent.
He was my inspiration. He was an idol almost to me because I used to look forward to going to practice to watch him run. He was so smooth. He could lay his feet down and walk on eggs without breaking them. And he would stop on a dime. He would set the blocker up for you.
As a runner, he had to be one of the most fluid, coordinated. He probably had the sixth sense. Anytime someone would get close to him, he just knew how to cut. Fluid, he was like a symphony on the football field.
Every time Lenny Moore was given the ball, it was the beginning of a unique adventure, a classic in cleats.
Lenny Moore was probably pound for pound the best offensive weapon, scoring weapon that I've ever seen. Plus, Lenny Moore was a real team player. He was a humble guy.
Lenny learned the true meaning of humility from his mother, who worked as a housemaid while he attended school.
I remember one day when I was at Penn State, I came home and I rode up to get her. And I parked the car, and of course, inside here, I said, oh, wow, Mom's, scrubbing floors, whatever, Went up, I rapped on the door, and the lady came to the door. I said, come to see Mrs. Moore. I said, I'm her son. Oh, you must be Lenny, you're home from school? I said, yes. Okay, fine, I'll get her. And boy, something went through me. Yeah, I'll never forget it as long as I live. I got in that car, and I prayed to God. I said, Lord, if you ever make it possible for me to do anything that my mother will never scrub another floor. And I cried, boy, and then she came out, and I straightened myself out.
Lenny's desire to succeed resulted in many great plays, but none as memorable as this catch against the Detroit Lions.
I felt a glow come over my body. And it's hard to describe. And it was good Lord. A glow came over my body. I dove. That ball stuck and I pulled the ball to my stomach as I slid into the end zone, through the end zone. That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
After 5 years as an All-Pro, Lenny's glow of success faded into the shadows of complacency. His instant fame had dulled his desire and softened his will to work. His play was marred by fumbles, mistakes, and poorly run pass patterns.
Lenny was a great talent, natural. He never had to work much for it. And he was careless, and he had a couple of bad experiences fumbling. Probably cost us the division championship one year.
There was no place on Don Shula's Colts for a player whose talent was no longer as large as his scrapbook. And in 1963, Lenny Moore's career seemed over.
I dedicated myself in 1964. I said, well, if they think I'm through, I'm going to show them that I'm not through. And I'm going to have the best year I've ever had, because it's going to start from day one. My attitude changed, and my dedication was toward proving that I was still there, that I could still do the job.
The magic was gone, but the will, the desire, returned. Throughout the season, Moore remained a persistent, heroic presence, a determined, relentless competitor who never stopped trying, even as a 31-year-old member of the special teams. Moore scored a record 20 touchdowns, led the league in scoring, and the Colts won the championship of the Western Conference. At the season's end, Moore was again an All-Pro. He received the Comeback Player of the Year award and was voted the most valuable player in the NFL. But Lenny Moore had another reason to savor the season of '64. His success erased a debt to his own pride, and 3 years later, he retired, certain of his place in the game's history.
Game ball. On defense now, boy, we could give it to a hell of a lot of guys, but a guy that stepped in and did a hell of a job now, Steve Grant. On offense now, guy made a hell of a comeback. You talk about being up against the wall. Tough.